Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Wednesday morning. It is gonna rain, I think, and these fields are almost at the point of being out of bounds because the farmer has begun the manure spreading. It's smelling a little bit, shall we say, fresh this morning, but it's walkable because he's not dug it in yet. Kylie Rodney. We didn't have a press conference yesterday from law enforcement, so no updates from them. We've got some things that have been confirmed by them, but still many more questions than we have answers. And the vast majority of what we know comes from Kylie's friend, Sammy. Law enforcement have confirmed that between 200 and 300 people are estimated to be at the party. We've got that photo at 6:08, which is a still image from a surveillance camera at a gas station. We've got the last phone ping at 12:33, and we've got very little else. Where is Kylie? Her phone, her vehicle, still missing. Law enforcement are struggling. They say that they need more evidence, they need more videos, they need more photos. They've brought out pictures of two hoodies. Kylie's mother went on Good Morning America yesterday morning and said that she recognises both of these hoodies.
I recognize both sweatshirts. The darker one belongs to her best friend. The lighter one is something that I've seen her wear time and time again. Being out with friends before, have maybe seen that, my friend was cold and then, oh, hey, here, you take this sweatshirt, and knowing that I have another one in the car to go and change.
The darker one, the black one, belongs to her best friend. Mag's her best friend. Kylie's mother doesn't seem to think that this is unusual behaviour at all, and perhaps it isn't. Really, perhaps it isn't. Law enforcement do have a photo, which they haven't released, or a video, I don't know which, of Kylie at the party in the lighter hoodie. But I'm guessing even in the dark, because it's so light, it would stand out. There might be photos and videos of her wearing the darker one. We don't know. Why did she change? We don't know. Is it significant that she changed? We don't know. Did she have the darker one on earlier on in the day? Or someone said that they lent her this hoodie earlier on in the day, but she didn't actually wear it at the party. We don't know. So let's go through some of the things we don't know that could well give us some answers as to what actually went down. I don't know whether we'll get these answers soon, or if we do get these answers and they're not from law enforcement, whether we can believe them. Sammy stopped speaking by the looks of things. I think she's been advised to. Or maybe she's been sensible enough to stop herself from speaking, because she told a whole lot of inconsistencies that didn't help her case at all. Just made her look suspicious, even if she wasn't. So the thing I'm interested in is, where was Kylie and where was Sammy immediately before the party? Kylie's friend Kate came out. She was the one who was with Jagger when he spoke out, and I think Jagger's innocent, honestly. But Kate said that she'd been with Kylie earlier on in the day. They'd made creme brulee. I'm not going to lie, I had to go and look up what creme brulee was. I had no idea. Some little custard thing. So they made that earlier on in the day. Now, she was at this gas station at 6:08. So presumably she'd left Kate, or was Kate also at the party? If she was, Sammy didn't mention her, like arriving with Kylie, and you'd think if they were together earlier on in the day, then they'd have arrived together. But allegedly, Kylie arrived at what, 10:30, something like that, with Mags. But then Mags only stayed 10 minutes. Seemed to know an awful lot about the party, given that she only stayed 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes was an estimate, maybe she stayed a little bit longer, or maybe everything she knew about that party had been told to her by Sammy. So Mags looks worried. She looks scared. Now, whether that's she looks scared because she knows more and Sammy's told her to keep quiet, or she's genuinely scared for Kylie. Either of those things could be true. I mean, I'm sure she is scared for her friend Kylie. She certainly looks more emotional than Sammy, whose only emotion seems to be delight. I mean, look, Sammy's done herself no favours whatsoever. I've not got much sympathy for her for leaving her friend drunk when she herself got another ride home. You don't do that. You do not do that. So we don't know where Kylie was between the gas station photo and her arriving at the party. Kylie was at the party, but where was she in the 4 hours between the gas station and the party itself? There's some speculation that I find really interesting. This comes from Ryan Upchurch, who was offered his very expensive looking car to somebody who can provide law enforcement a tip that leads to Kylie's discovery. Very generous of him. But he said perhaps there's more than one party. Maybe there was. Now, maybe more than one party, as in more than one group partying at the campground. I think that's possible. Between 200 and 300 people all congregating together. Where are they all going to stand or sit? Were they all just like sat in the cars? You know, the cars parked all round, as Sammy told News Nation Now. Cars parked all over here and all over there, she said. Well, they would have to be if there was that many cars. Even if they were car sharing or some of them got dropped off, you're still looking at definitely over 100 cars. And not one of them saw Kylie's car leaving, which is bizarre. Not so bizarre when we factor in campers who were half a mile away saying that a cavalcade of cars arrived about 9:30. So is this when Sammy arrived? Because Sammy was already there when Kylie arrived. So where was Sammy before she turned up at the campground? Where was she? Was she at another party? Was she with Kylie between 6:08 and the party? And Sammy just turned up first. If she was with Kylie, why didn't they go together, seeing as they were such good friends? Kylie didn't really want to go to the party, did she? According to her mother, she was meant to be going to a car show with her mother that day. And then she changed her mind because there was this party and she didn't really want to go. And according to one witness at the party, she actually wanted to go home. So was she persuaded to stay? Mags went with her boyfriend. Was Kylie persuaded to stay? Why was she persuaded to stay? All questions we've got no idea to the answers. Same campers said that a cavalcade of vehicles left about 12:30, exactly the same time that Kylie's phone last pinged somewhere near Prosser Reservoir. These dogs are loving all the smells.
One eternity later.
So where did all the vehicles go? Talked about this yesterday. Did they go to another party? Did they all call it a night and go home? Unlikely that they all just went home. Sammy said she went home. Very coincidental that that last phone ping was at 12:33 as all of these people were leaving. Maybe word had got round that there was a better party. Maybe all the entertainment, the Fight Club thing had finished at this party. People were fed up of it. Maybe they were fed up of the party being gate crashed. Or maybe the younger ones were the gate crashers. We don't know. We don't know how many parties were going on that night. Now, we know that this was a party arranged for high school seniors. So was it always arranged to be there at that particular place that Sammy calls the sanctuary? Or did they go there? The parents didn't know that they'd gone there. We don't know the answers to any of these questions. So where did all these people go? Did they go to another party? Did they go home? Did a bunch of them leave because something bad had gone down? That it had got round the party that a girl, Kylie, had overdosed? Or had got injured during this fight club thing? Sammy told All American Dream Chaser that Sammy was up for anything. You could dare her to do anything. Well, she dared to take drugs she didn't really want to take, to stay longer than she really wanted to stay. Well, she dared to do things she didn't want to do. And something bad happened. I think that's highly likely. Highly likely. I told my son about this case. He's interested in true crime. He's 19, so much closer to these guys' ages than I am. He said, yeah, well, people would just get up and go if someone had overdosed. But he said if there really was 300 people there, did all of them know? Did all of them leave because of that? Or if a girl had got injured and died, would they all know that she died? If so, somebody's going to squeal. People that age, even if they're a bit older, they're not going to be able to hold in that secret. They'd have to be persuaded very strongly to hold on to that secret. Rich parents who order them not to speak, who take them to see an attorney who says, don't speak, perhaps scares the living bejesus out of them. Perhaps these team meetings that Sammy's organising, getting everybody on the same page. You're going to be in just as much trouble as we all are. We're all going to be in trouble if we don't all keep quiet. But what if there really were gate crashers there who Sammy didn't know, like older people that Sammy didn't know? How would you keep them quiet? All of them. How would you keep all of them quiet? Someone's going to speak. So I think my son's right. Someone is going to speak if something bad happened. Now, the other theory I'm leaning towards is abduction. That someone spied their chance. And if people were leaving to go to another party, and Kylie was there, worse for wear, and somebody ambushed her on her way to the car and said, I'll drive, you're not in a fit state, I'll drive, and then drove her somewhere and murdered her. Well, how did they get to the party? So if it was an abduction, someone would know. So let's say somebody got to the party with a ride, abducted Kylie and drove off in her car. The person who gave them that ride would know that they didn't ride them back. Now, maybe in all the confusion of cars leaving to go to another party, it would be easy for this abductor to be missed. Let's call this abductor Jeff, right? So Bob thought that Jeff had took a ride with John, and John thought that Jeff had took a ride with Stanley. Do you see what I mean? So it would be down to law enforcement to piece together whose story is inconsistent and who's the odd man out, who can't be accounted for. And that would be Jeff. However, they don't know who was there. It's not like they took like a names list, It's not like they had a guest list, is it? Because if it's true that this party was just for high school seniors and it was gate crashed by these older people, then potentially no one's going to know who Jeff was. And Jeff could have Kylie's car in a garage, in a lockup, could have even buried it. Now, Ryan Upchurch said something really interesting. It's, as long as you've got the equipment, you can bury a car very easily. So then it would be down to law enforcement to be able to find the burial site of this car. Harder to spot than a car. So many unknowns, so many speculations, and I think somewhere in those speculations is the answer. But what is that answer? Because I don't think Sammy's telling the truth, not completely, and so few people have come out. Now, hopefully, lots and lots of people have spoke to law enforcement, and they're getting a good idea of where the truth lies, somewhere in everything. But it's odd. It's just very, very odd. Very strange case. So let me know your thoughts and your comments below. I've been Michelle, hope you're well. See you in the next video. Goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer, who are still not staying off the pitch. They are now. Bye, guys.